Israel's nationwide vaccination campaign was hailed as a success story that helped to drastically reduce infections in the country. But the latest Delta variant outbreak has led to an increase in cases, and many experts believe that the crisis is far from over. Israel was one of the first countries to vaccinate a majority of its population in a very small amount of time. By June, the mandatory mask requirement was completely dropped, and the only COVID curbs that remained were regarding international travel. Now, the rate of infection has again risen to 5.4%, and the Bennett government has said that it will take necessary measures to avoid further lockdowns. As Israel's COVID wave continues to worsen, the country's top COVID official admits that authorities mishandled the crisis with regard to inoculating the unvaccinated. During an interview, Israel's coronavirus czar, Professor Salman Zarqa, said that COVID-19 is here and it will stay, and we may have to wear a mask for many months. While acknowledging the government's mistake, Zarqa said that officials were pressurized to formulate policies without sufficient data. Israel has one of the highest vaccination rates in the world, with 78% of the adult population fully vaccinated. Despite this, the country is currently witnessing a significant spike in cases. Our correspondent Jody Cohen has sent us more details in this next report from Jerusalem. Listen in.
Israel was an early success story in the COVID pandemic, effectively becoming the testing laboratory for Pfizer's vaccine and sharing its medical data with the world. However, coronavirus czar Professor Salman Zarqa now says Israel dropped the ball and should have done more to encourage further vaccination while COVID cases were low. Suggesting Israel won the battle but the war is still here, he said preparations are needed for a possible fifth wave. With kids going back to school next week and the Jewish New Year festivities approaching, the government is busy looking at what more it can do to limit the spread of the Delta variant. This is Jody Cohen from Renana, Israel for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.